reporting it here as a world first exclusive that Emain Khalif is in fact a man.
Knew it! I knew it! I knew it! A man with a micro peen, isn't that what he was? You can see through his shorts.
You could see very obviously this was a man. I can look at this picture and tell you that this is a man.
Yes.
I can look at their skin and tell you they're probably on testosterone because they're a full-grown adult and they have acne on their biceps. This is like we let them steal gold medals from biological women. Not one, but two, by the way. If I remember correctly, it was two people competing for gold that were argued to be biological men.
Yeah, both of them were males.
And we also see this dude in California that is now he's big. He's there. The media's like, oh, he's so stunning and brave, because girls would stand off the podium, which I thought was really based.
Yeah.
Then they're like, look how now this biological man is sharing the number one spot with the number two spot. It's like, no, you get like you're still stealing it. Like you're still stealing that spot from a girl.
Be there.
Yeah, like
it's like 5 states in total where biological male student athletes have placed number 1 in women's categories of late. Which is, I mean, it is that end time of the year where high school sports are coming to the end. But it's just kind of crazy that this is something that teenage girls are having to lead the fight on the forefront of, you know? Every time one of them opts not to get on a podium or who says something like says this isn't okay, it really is part of the larger movement. On the other hand, like, why are we making it that the children have to fight this battle? It's totally crazy.
I know. It's gotten way out of control.
I mean, do you think, this is I think this other one here.
That was funny too, how he had his photo shoot right after his win, because everybody knew he's a man and they're like, this is ridiculous. So he's like, oh, here's a photo shoot of me wearing a dress with makeup on. It was almost like proof I'm a woman. See guys, I'm a woman. And it just looks like a man in makeup.
And I was trying to find, this is very obviously a man. And like, I thought it was, I forget if I had the one where like these girls like stood down. Here, this one, like athletes protest, like look, and they're like get bent, and they get down.
They're not even from the same school, right?
Right.
They have different uniforms on.
This is a state competition. A biological man, of course, won that.
Wow.
And
I just think it says something that the girls from different schools are like, yeah, I'm getting down too. That makes sense. You know, it's not like a movement among people who know each other that well. They just know this is not right.
It makes me so mad that feminists don't stand up against this. It's like, here is one opportunity for you to do your job for once, because all you're doing is making a mess in society. Here's an opportunity where feminists could actually be doing something good by standing against this, and they don't. They enable it. That's just
and then feminists who do speak out against it, everyone else is like, wow, you're a TERF. You're a TERF.
And so it's just like, that just shows so much about the feminist movement and how it is just part of a big Orwellian, like Marxist push, because it's just like, it's just completely, for the things that they stand for are completely opposite of what they pretend to stand for. So it's absurd.
I think it shows how easily pressured and manipulated women are. Like you have all these feminists who are like, we won't be oppressed by men, and men are always telling us to do stuff. And then like these men put on skirts and the feminists are like, no, of course you can be here. You're right.
Exactly.
We'll accommodate you, even though we complain about it all the other times. Doesn't make any sense. But it's still what we're doing.
Sadly, women are very easily manipulated. And that's what you see in a lot of these movements. And play on a woman's empathy, for example. And that's what they've done with this whole transgender movement of, this poor, like, guy just wants to live his best life as a woman. We'll welcome you. It's just, because they think that they are doing the loving thing in that situation, but they're not. And
there's nothing about competing against biological females as a biological male that is a human right.
Exactly.
That's the craziest part about the rhetoric that they use. And like, they just say, well, it's trans rights are human rights. Okay, cool. I agree. But it's not your right to compete against biological women. That's not a right you have.
And for a long time, they'd be like, well, it's not hurting you. It's not hurting you. But then, especially when those track athletes from Connecticut sued over this a couple years ago, they point out that like when their names don't appear in the correct places when they run races, that they look like they are not performing as well as they are, they lose the chance to have scholarships. It impacts their whole lives. Like it's asking teenage girls to accommodate this ideological burden that doesn't make any sense, and they pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, half the reason you compete in athletics in high school is with the hope of getting a scholarship. Maybe not half, but that's why I've competed. You know, like I was a white male. I wasn't getting any scholarships. The tide was already kind of turning. But like, I mean, that's half the reason I played on the chess team. I was like, well, I'm not good enough at football or basketball, so I'll go varsity in chess, and hopefully I can get some money for college for that. When you're taking this spot away from them, and by the way, there have been multiple scholarships that were given to biological men instead of biological women by the university that wanted virtue signal. There was one girl who was left brain damaged by a biological man in, I believe, volleyball.
And she went to the state of the joint address that Trump had a couple months ago. Yeah,
and I don't think she won her lawsuit, by the way.
Oh,
I don't
no.
I don't think I'd have to double check and follow up on that, but like we're going to start to see, you know, whoever was on 4 and 5, they'll be down next time. And whoever was 2 will be down next time. No, there's no more of this sharing the number 1 podium. No. You can stand up there by yourself, and then when you're gone, we'll get back up there and we'll stand in the right spots. Right. And if Kamala Harris was president right now, you know, you would see a lot more backlash, I think.
Right.
But I think if any of these women now face significant backlash, Trump would defend them. Like Trump would take it out on whatever university or whatever. Like, we saw he's going after Gavin Newsome, isn't he, for letting biological males compete against biological females. That's something that he's going after Gavin Newsome with. So, like,
I thought Gavin Newsome pretended like he was against men competing against women. Is he flip-flopping again?
He pretended in the Bill Maher thing where he was trying to appear as he was more like moderate. Yeah.
Because he wants to run for president. So he's spending the next couple of years pretending like he hasn't been a public figure for a long time and that his statements and voting records are not public. It's going to be I think a lot of people are going to be easily able to debunk Gavin Newsome. But that's the thing. Like, it's a fact. It's like, it's the Democrat equivalent to companies turning their logos rainbow for June and then taking them down. Like, he's going to pay lip service to all kinds of things right now for a little bit and then eventually change his mind so that he can, you know, appeal to the more extreme parts of his party so he can have support when he wants to run. You just can't trust anything they say.
Well, I mean, I think with this Emain dude, the problem is the Olympics is woke.
Oh, very. That's very demonic. Like the Olympics in general are very satanic. So of course they're going to be about this Baphomet transgender movement.
But like, Trump has a pretty interesting thing he could do, because doesn't the Olympics come here in 2026?
Yeah, in LA.
In LA. So Trump has the chance to do the funniest thing imaginable. Like, if they are, like, I know, like, you know, God willing, we'll all still be doing this show in a few years.
Yeah.
We're going to be covering Trump saying, you're not letting biological women compete.
Ooh.
You know, you're not letting biological men compete. There's 2 categories that is really prevalent: track and field and swimming, but also weightlifting. Weightlifting is the one that is very prevalent and was on there was several biological male weightlifters competing at the Olympic level. Last Olympics, obviously we had, I don't know if any biological male swimmers were competing. Maybe they were. I assume there probably was.
I don't think there were any biological male swimmers at the Olympics. That really is happening on the American collegiate level.
Yeah. But I mean, Trump has the chance to really say, nah, Not going to do it. Not in
Yep.
America. We're just not going to allow that. Could be pretty interesting. It could be pretty interesting if they if he decides to take a stand against that, which I would be for 100%.
Well, and he has to wait until enough money has been spent and enough commitment.
Yes,
from
until
other
they can't
countries
back
in.
out. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I don't know if you guys remember this, but with the World Cup, it was supposed to be. It was in Hungary, I think 2-3 years ago.
Great
for
documentary
soccer.
on the corruption of the World Cup too.
Okay.
I'm trying to
Well,
think
Hungary
the name of
passed
it, but
this
go on.
law saying that you can't advertise any LGBTQ stuff on TV, especially anything that'd be in front of children.
Ooh, base.
You should read about Hungry Melonie. I think you'd love it there.
Yeah.
But there was this huge pushback because it was over the summer and there were a bunch of countries and companies and like protesters that were like, we need to be able to have pro LGBTQ ads and they are hateful and they're homophobic. And so we want to be able to do this. And they couldn't. They weren't allowed to because of national law in Hungary. They had to conform to standards. So it would be interesting if Trump does take a more public stand about these things. Or even, I mean, you wouldn't see it from Gavin Newsome, but
yeah, he's pretty moderate.
He
Yeah.
is. That's the thing is I wish Trump were more conservative or more Christian. But I mean, I still think that he's great. But yeah,
I think he would take a stand. He's more likely to take a stand on the transgender issue.
Yes. Yeah.
Because again, like it's not
that's actually pretty lukewarm too, though. To think that men shouldn't compete against women.
I mean,
You
it's
know
just
what I mean?
basic common sense, but
Yeah.
apparently this is a radical stance in modern America.
it
if
is
not
to the
world.
left. They consider even moderates. I mean, if you're not extreme woke satanic ideology, then you are alt right to them.
Yeah.